You are listening to Yo, powered by iTrackRadio.com, your independent music source. Fresh, new music, right here on the all-new GHP Radio, your new independent music source.
Yo, yo, yo. Yo, yo, yo.
time I look around, sometimes I wonder, is this everything I wanna be? No matter where I go today, there's so much sadness. Is there ever gonna be a better day for us? Will there ever be a time for a better day? Will there ever be a better way? Can they pay off our sorrow and pain? Can't get enough from stimulus, just ain't enough to conquer this. Look around and you'll see things ain't changed. Things ain't changed, still remain. Things ain't changed. Things ain't changed, still the same. Things ain't changed. Things ain't changed. Ooh, things ain't changed. Driving down 23rd, crossing over 35, visualizing how things should look now. Cruising down the boulevard, seeing all the action. One day this will change, oh Lord, I know. Things ain't changed, still remain. Things ain't changed. Things ain't changed. Things ain't changed. Well, still the same. Still the same. Things ain't changed.
Here we go, yo. All I know is what I see. Reminiscent of Flash in the 80s with the message, but they didn't listen. It's like the jungle sometimes, I can't dismiss it. At 6 in the morning, who's knocking at the door? Waking us up like we've never been before. Just realize it's simple and plain. Things ain't changed.
Things ain't changed. Things ain't changed. Still remain. Things ain't changed. A better day is coming. Things ain't changed. Still the same. Things ain't changed. Things ain't changed. Things ain't changed. Still remain. Things ain't changed. Things ain't changed no way.
by you.
It's all about the love. It's all about the love. It's all about it. We're living in some trying times. Find it hard to survive. We may tell your sister, tell your brother. Through faith
Center.
Yes, you've been on my mind. I see you everywhere I go. Baby, told you a million times. You've got the sweetest smile I know. And it's strange, but when I think of you and all the things that we've been through, I just gotta say, and you know it's true, I think I'm still in love with you. I see you everywhere, 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 everywhere I go. I see you everywhere, 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 everywhere I go.
today's edition of the Indie Live Spot right here. We're streaming live on YouTube, and we're very excited. You just got through hearing some great music, and then right as we appeared on the screen, we were hearing some great music from our guest that we are excited about having on today. Mr. Robert Lee is in the house. Everybody help me welcome Robert Lee. He's back.
Thank you.
Welcome, sir. So happy to have you back on the show, man.
Yep.
Yes, indeed. We were just playing Estrella as we were coming on, and man, like I said, we were just kind of reminiscing with you off camera, about some of the things that you got that you're gonna be telling us about today. But since the last time you were here, man, lots happened, hadn't it? So again, we would just welcome you, man. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Gary.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much for having me on.
You welcome.
Indie Live show.
Yes, indeed. Well, let's get caught up, man. So what's been happening? I know you got the new single that man, we're gonna actually let our listeners check that out later on in the show. But we just want to get reintroduced to you and just catch up on all the great things that have been happening with you.
Yeah. Any moment. It came out maybe about a month and a half ago, and it's doing really good. And it's I think it's number 16 on smoothjazznetwork.com.
Yeah.
And then it's number 17 on Billboard.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure what it's on Minibase. I know it's on there too. Haven't kept up with that one, but
Right.
the one I was really interested in was Billboard, because 96 Tears was on Billboard back in the 60s, and I remember it going up the charts, and it took a long time to get up there, but Billboard was like, the biggest thing in the 60s, and if you got on Billboard, it was pretty amazing.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Do you remember how far it got on Billboard?
96 Tears? Yeah, it went to number 1.
Okay.
Wow.
How long did it stay there?
Yeah. It only stayed there for 1 week because we were in battle with the Monkees. They had the song called "Last Train to Clarksville," and so we were kind of battling it out with them, and I figured, they had highest priority because they had a TV show, so they got more, but I was just glad to be on there, and then when it went to number 1, and our producer got a hold of me and told me, I was in shock, basically,
It was a good
I was only 16 years old when we did that, so
wow.
my goal was just to get played on the radio, and actually hear it.
Right?
Just to hear it on the radio,
Right.
Like, that's
That was-
me playing.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
They're playing my song.
Right? Well, that is so cool. And we were talking off the air. You said that even when you do gigs now, people still request that song for you to play it, right?
Oh yeah, we always got to play that song. I sang it. I'm not really a great singer, but I do the best I can.
Right.
I always let my guitar do my singing for me, but I do sing that song, and people love it, and the dance floor gets packed.
Oh, I bet. I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially for those of us that grew up in the 60s,
Yeah.
growing up. So, yeah, that
Yeah,
would
we
be.
were babies, though.
What's that?
I said we were babies, but I still remember
Yeah.
songs from the
Yeah.
60s.
Mhm.
Well,
Yeah,
even
like
the
my-
50s, because you have older siblings that keep
Yeah.
music alive. So,
Like my wife wasn't even born yet.
I'm so glad Matt's not here to hear that.
That's kind of scary when I think about it, but she's like 54. I'm 71 now, so
Oh, that's nothing.
yeah.
Well, you look
Yeah.
great for 71.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Now, if she
Thank
were
you very much.
14 and you were what, 20, 30 something, that would be different.
Yeah, it'd be different. Yeah.
That's not.
I'd be looking at you behind bars.
Well, depends
Yeah.
on what state you're in. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, you're right. Well, I live in Michigan.
No,
Right.
it's not going to happen.
Oh, and
Well, I'm
before,
so excited about the song, y'all. Just it's like a dream come true, And everybody keeps telling me, on Facebook, you're gonna hit number one. You're gonna hit number one,
Mm,
And to me, to be top 10, I'd be happy.
Yeah.
oh yeah, no doubt
It's
about
a
it.
dream.
Well,
Yeah.
my husband said this years ago when I came back to music about 10, 11 years ago. He said, really, all an artist needs is one hit song that can carry them for the rest of their lives. And I said, what do you mean? He said, you don't need a hit song over and over. And when you just said that song, 96 Years, did I get it right?
Yeah.
Came
Yeah.
out
Nice.
60s?
Tears. Yeah.
Tears.
Yeah. That's
yeah,
tears.
96
Yeah.
tears.
Like gonna cry. 96
Yeah,
tears. Yeah.
gotcha. And it came out in the 60s, right?
Right. 66.
And people are still into it. So you're
Yeah.
proving him right. He said,
Exactly.
I need this one hit song, and that will carry you through. And I'm like, oh, okay. I don't have that, but I'm still blessed. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That what I
Yeah.
have. Mhm, go
Yeah,
ahead.
it's been great. All these years, we got back together again in the '90s, the original band, and we toured all over the world, and that was great. And then I got it. It seemed like when we went to London, we played in London, and it was just amazing there. We played at one place, and people were climbing, way high just to see us playing, and. It's a guy, one of the guys, one of the band that opened up for us members, he came up to me and said, does it feel like you're having a big hit again? Like you're back in the 60s? And I go, yeah, like the people in England, they love 96 Years. And I felt like, like the Beatles did when they were back there and everybody was, wanted to see them,
Right.
But it was just a great feeling, and to be able to do that again, because we broke up in '69, and then I got back together with them in '95. The original band got back together again,
Oh, nice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
and we still play out as the Mysterians. Question Mark doesn't want to perform more. He was a bit older than us. He's like about the same age as the Beatles. He's about 78, something like that.
Okay.
And me and Frank were the kids, in the band. And, we played with them, but we couldn't hang out with them.
That's true.
Yeah. They didn't want us around, I remember playing in New York and back in the 60s, you could drink at 18 and everybody in the band, but me and Frankie were underage.
Yeah.
And so they would go out to the bars, and me and Frankie would order drinks to the hotel room. we just signed it away.
There you go.
So all of the Mysterians are still living, right?
Well, the drummer passed away, but he wasn't the original drummer, but he actually played on the song. The original drummer, him and my nephew Larry Borges and Robert Martinez, they joined the army because it was during the Vietnam War, and they were of age and they were getting drafted. So when they joined the band, when they joined the army, we kind of had to put a band together again, and it was like starting over again. We had to get a bass player and a drummer, and his name was Eddie Serrato, and he passed away about 5-6 years ago.
Okay.
He had diabetes really bad, and he was on dialysis, and he passed away there. But we were very sad because he, when we traveled back in the 60s, he was kind of like our guardian, me and Frankie's guardian, because we were little kids.
Yeah.
Frankie was in the 8th grade, and I was in the 9th grade when the song hit.
Wow.
I thought you said you were 16.
Yeah, I flunked. I flunked the grade.
I'm sorry. I was,
See,
Yeah,
that just get all up in his Kool-Aid.
I just did my Mac.
Uh-huh.
You did it good, Joyce. Yeah, I flunked the grade because my parents were migrant workers back in the 60s, and so, we traveled from one location to work out in the fields, another one, and went to, different schools, and sometimes it was too late to start back up, so I missed 1 year.
Okay.
That's why I was What's
That
that?
wasn't
What?
unusual. That wasn't unusual in the '60s, to be honest with you.
No, it wasn't.
No.
No, it was a hard life. But my parents moved to Michigan, and my brother got a job at General Motors. My dad did, and then we found out what the good life was. To stay at
Right.
one place.
Stay.
And yeah, it was amazing. And I went to school, and had a lot of friends. And I remember I was in the ninth grade, and the song just started coming out. 96 here just started coming out, and I was in the hallway, and everybody kept saying, "There's that guy with the hit record." And I kept thinking, is there another guy out around here? I didn't know they were talking about me,
Right.
And then I remember playing 96 Tears, and it was a drama class I was taking, and I played it, and this one girl, she used to wait for me all the time when I would walk out of school, and we'd walk together. And she was in my class, and I told her, I'm going to play this song for you. I want you to tell me what you think of it. And she says, all right. So I played the song, and I played the other side, like a DJ.
Yeah.
And then on the way home, I said, what'd you think of 96 Tears? She goes, wow, that's a terrible song. I said, oh, you kidding me? She goes, yeah. She goes, I like the other side better. So
Like the B-side.
she liked the B-side better. So, after that, the song made it, so I never saw her again. And then, and she ended up marrying a good friend of mine.
Wow.
And I was living in Texas, and I moved back to Michigan. I was playing with a band called Joe King Carrasco and the Crowns. And they were pretty big, in the
Austin,
80s. Yeah, big in Austin. And anyway, I moved back to Michigan, and I saw the friend of mine. He was a drummer, and we were talking. He goes, do you remember a girl named Colleen in your school at Weber? And I go, that's been a while. His name was Tom. I said, no, I don't remember Tom. He goes, you used to walk home with her every day. And I said, oh, yeah. She's the one that hated 96 Tears.
That's why you never saw her again.
That's why I never saw her. Yeah.
Isn't that something?
And so he told me this joke. When she got married before she married him and got divorced, but she had some kids, and she told her kids about the song, and she hated it, and they made #1. So every time a song would come out, they would say, Ma, what do you think about this song? So she hated it. They knew it was going to be a big hit.
Number 1.
Right. Right.
That is wild.
But did she know it was your song when you asked her to listen to it?
Yeah, I told her it was a band that I started, and she didn't like it though. But so and then I saw her after I saw that friend of mine. They owned a club here in Bay City, in Saginaw, Michigan. I'm sorry, and I was talking to her, and I said, yeah, I remember when you said you hated a song, and she kind of started blushing,
Yeah, yeah.
'Cause I brought her up personally,
And that's why when people, I'll give an opinion about a song, but that doesn't mean that song won't be a hit because I don't like it.
Right.
And that's why
right.
you have to be careful when you ask people for their opinion. They will give you their opinion, and they're honest about it, but it may not mean, your song. When I heard the song, Short People Have No Reason to Live, I'm like, well, dang. I would have thought that song would have never made it.
Yeah, me too.
Right.
Do y'all remember that?
I do remember that now.
I was like, Short People Have No Reason to Live. I'm like, okay, I couldn't get that out of my head. Maybe I should have listened to the verses more carefully. It might have explained it, but I was like, oh my goodness, that's horrible. And if somebody had given me that song, I said, not gonna make it, and it did.
Right.
So,
I'm the same way too. I don't pick the hits all the time, but I still like to listen to top 40. But smooth jazz, I loved jazz when I was a little kid. I was learning how to play guitar, and I would listen to Wes Montgomery, and I used to think, what an amazing guitar player he was.
Yeah.
I couldn't understand what he was doing, so I figured, well, I'm gonna learn the ventures, like Walk Don't Run, and that was real easy because they were very melodic songs, very single note melody lines, and
Right.
so when we started the Question Mark Mysterians, it was just the Mysterians, and I put the band together, and we started playing instrumentals, and it was going really good and everything, and then we started playing a lot more and more, and people come up to us and say, who sings in the band? You guys need a singer, and I said, oh shoot, now here goes that, because I love instrumentals. That's why I love smooth jazz,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I've always loved instrumentals. And so I was thinking, oh shoot, we got to get a singer. So we hired Question Mark, and everybody loved the band, and it was just the Mysterians. But we had a manager who gave us each a letter, and I was X, and our bass player was Y, he was Z, and the drummer was Y, and then he gave Question Mark. So we would play out and stuff, and people would come up to say, hey, what's the name of the band? I said, we're the Mysterians. He goes, this one girl came up to him one time and she says, what's your name? And I said, X, because our manager didn't want us to give out our names. And he goes, use X,
Yeah.
So I said X, and she goes, wow, you're weird. and I said, well, I don't think I'm going to use X anymore. I'm gonna exit out.
How funny! Wow.
But Question Mark kept the names. Question Mark kept the name, and so it worked really good because Question Mark and the Mysterians, it kind of complemented
goes
each other.
together,
Right.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
What I wanted to. Yeah, thank you, Gary.
No,
What I wanted to mention, it was in 2019. We Question Mark Mysterians did a show here in Bay City. I put this concert together called 96 Tears Day, and it was I called it 96 Tears Day, a cry for the homeless, and it was like a homeless concert where the money was donated to the rescue mission.
Yes.
And food or clothes. And it was a free concert. If nobody didn't want to donate, they didn't have to. It wasn't like mandatory. It was out of your own heart, if you want to donate something.
Right.
And I had a vision of it, and I was listening to a Christian channel, and this one lady, her first name is Joyce too. I can't remember her last name, but she was talking about. She said, if you got a talent, you use your talent. God wants you to use your talent to help others. And I was thinking, it really hit me. And I said, music, I'm a guitar player. I can play music, do concerts, and promote it for the homeless, and get people to come out. And if they want to do a donation, they can.
Sure.
And I thought that would be something that I could serve, serve the Lord and serve the homeless people, because the homeless is really, to me, we don't care if they're, alcoholics, whatever, because they had a problem. Maybe they turned to that.
Right.
And a lot of people, they didn't. They were living good. I see in L.A. Homeless is out of it's rampage all over the place.
Yeah.
It's terrible, and I watch videos on there, and it's terrible. I listened to a lady talk, and she said, her and her daughter, they had an apartment, and they the rent went up, and she couldn't afford it, and so they moved into the car. And she had a station wagon, and she had to take her daughter to school. And it basically brought tears to my eyes when I saw that.
Oh, yeah.
So I said, I have to create some kind of a awareness, and so we put on the concert, and what I was trying to do is the awareness of it. We had the local channel, TV channel, they came out and interviewed me, and they played a little bit of the band playing. And I told everybody, on the TV, I said, it would be great if musicians all over the country, in their own town or village, could come together. In their town, all the local musicians and promote a homeless concert for their town, for their homeless, you know.
Right.
And musicians don't got to take money out of their pocket. They just play for an hour, you know. It's just it's so simple to do, and it works. And so I promoted that on TV, and I got a lot of great response from that.
Great.
So yeah, and so we Question Mark Mysterian did an interview for the Latin CNN, and it was supposed to go all around the world to all the Latin channels. And I talked to the interviewer, and I said, you know, I'm putting a homeless concert together. It would be great if you get a whole CNN here in the United States and have them come out and do an interview, and maybe film the band, and go across the country. And I would talk to all the musicians across the world, you know, across the country, the United States at least, and promote it, you know, the awareness that you as a musician can help promote, you know, concerts, and the money can go to the rescue mission in your village or town or city.
Right.
And that would put a big dent. It's not going to solve everything, but you know what? I think the awareness will create more positive things for them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I see it. Yep. In LA, I see they're making these mini homes, communities, and they're putting, you know, instead of them living out in Skid Row and stuff, they're making these mini homes, and they make communities out there, and they learn how to live together again, and work together. You know, before you know it, you know, they could become working citizens again. You know, because a lot of them are people that didn't want to be there. You know,
I know,
and they got stuck there. So that's
not all mental cases.
yeah.
Not all, they say, well, they all, no, not all of them, but you know, but when I found out, I was in LA 2019, and I didn't realize the homeless crisis was so bad. It was, and then my cousin, she was like, it's bad out here. 70 to 80,000 people homeless.
Exactly.
And not one person being homeless is sad, you know. And the thing is that we don't think it can happen to us, but it can.
It can.
It
You
can
never
happen.
know.
Yeah, we used to have that saying, you know, we're just one paycheck away from being homeless, you know.
Exactly.
And, I mean, it's
Exactly.
true.
Yeah. I mean, even if you have a nice savings account, well, I got a savings account, but if you don't have any income for a few years, that savings account, you know, can be gone.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Let there be one major, because even if you have insurance on your home, you know, like in Texas, there's a mandatory deductible of $3,000, you know.
Wow.
So it's always, you know, it's just tough. And it's amazing that I'm glad you do what you do, because Jennifer, local jazz vocalist, she invited musicians to be a part of, well, what's the name of, forget the name of it. The word discovery is in it, I think. And where musicians would donate their time to entertain homeless people in a place. It's not a shelter as such, but it's a place where they have a lot of showers, and they can come and get dressed, and you know, because sometimes they want to go on an interview, and our audience was nothing but homeless people. It was exclusive. Now I did one where it was a big dinner table and people were dressed up, and the homeless weren't not allowed to be there, and that was okay, but they paid us for that. But when they told me, and it felt good giving back, you know, to give them some entertainment. They loved it. And that's what I mean. We have this thing about homeless people, that those homeless people, they're you. That's you out there.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah.
You know, we played in New Orleans, Question Mark Mysterians, and it was before Katrina, the hurricane. And it was so beautiful there, you know, and it's just a great time. We played there, and then we played there a year, maybe 2 years after that. We played at House of Blues, and we were driving around and stuff. And they got these expressways there way up, and they got these tall pillars. And we were driving, and we were driving on a small street, and I could see all these homeless people that lost their homes because of Katrina, and they were living in tents. They had
Right.
couches, underneath the expressway,
Yeah.
and I was so sad to see that. And then we went back 2 years later, and guess what? They were still there,
Mm.
and that was sad, And
Yeah.
to me, and how they ended up like homeless was because of the hurricane.
Mm-hmm.
So anything can cause that problem,
Sure can.
So I believe
Yeah.
the government should help. To me, they should be involved in it. And I'm hoping in LA, because that's really where it's out of control. That and build those mini homes. I think the mini
There
homes
and
is
San Francisco, both LA and San
Oh,
Yes.
Francisco.
really? Oh, good.
wow.
Well, wasn't it in
Yes.
San Francisco where they had a community thing, a community garden,
Uh-huh.
and was took care of it, and they sold the fruits or
Yeah.
vegetables, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what city that was, but it was very effective. Not only
Right.
did they reap the benefit of eating from the garden, but they sold things as well, fresh.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
And to me, there's a lot of land within the city they could do that, and people could, especially homeless, can go there. Maybe have somebody monitoring it so it doesn't get trashed out or whatever. But
Right. Right.
give them food. And one way to do it. To me, they're the loneliest people in the world, and nobody knows that, because you sit there. I sit there and watch a video one time, and it was a documentary, and I saw them just sitting against the wall in a sidewalk, smoking a cigarette. I saw one guy laying on there with a blanket over him, sleeping, and it really touched me. I remember 1969. We went to L.A. and a friend of ours wanted us to record our third album, Question Mark Mysterious album, and he got us a gig. It was in Orange County, and the gig was going to pay us $5,000. Would paid for our rent there and food and stuff. We were only going to be there 2 or 3 weeks, and so we went to go play, and the owner came up to me and he goes, "How old are you?" I said, "I'm 17 and a drum and our bass." He said, "How old is the keyboard player?" He looks really young. I said, "He's 16. He goes, "You guys can't play here." I said, "Why not?" Yeah, and we were gonna make $5,000 in 2 weeks, And that was a lot. That was a lot of money in the '60s,
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it.
And so he goes, "You can't play here because they take my license away." So we end up playing on the Hollywood. Was the Sunset Boulevard Strip, right next to Whiskey A Go-Go was a club called Gazzari's, and we played there, and we were making $500 a night, and we only played there twice, and so it was a big difference,
Yeah.
And so we had enough money to pay for our hotel. I mean, we rented a bungalow. And buy groceries, but we didn't have no extra money. Back then everybody smoked cigarettes, or, you want to go get a bag of chips, and we had nothing.
Wow.
And I remember walking down Hollywood Boulevard, and I was looking at all the sidewalk with all the famous people,
Mm-hmm.
And this homeless guy came up to me. He goes, "Man, you got some spare change?" I go, "I wish I did. I could use it for myself." And so he just kind of walked away, and I went back to our bungalow. And everybody was there, and I told him, I said, "This guy came up to me, and he had asked me for spare change." I said, "You know what? I think I'm gonna go do that." so I could buy a pack of cigarettes or buy a bag of chips or something, because all we had enough money just for our food and the place. And so we all went out there and we all did it. And Question Mark came back with a bag full of cigarettes.
Wow.
and so I only did it once. It was kind of embarrassing, because I walked to somebody and he kind of looked at me like, "Who the heck are you?" Like, "Oh shoot." I don't want to tell I don't want to tell my player in a famous band.
Yeah.
You go from rags to riches, then back to rags.
Thanks.
Right.
Hey, Hey, Grizz,
Yeah.
who's trying to be incognito?
Right.
Yep. But we,
Uh,
we finished we finished the album and everything, and then I came back home and I quit the band after that. So it's time for me to go out and get a job. So I became an electronic technician, and I worked on electronics all the time.
cool.
But it was experience that I think it really showed me something about homeless people. How to feel like how they did.
Yeah.
Well, tell me how did the concert you did to raise funds for the homeless?
Uh-huh.
What was the end result?
Oh, it was great. I think we raised $3,000,
Yeah.
and then my vision. I had a vision. It came to me, and I was sleeping. And I saw this. I could see us on stage, and I could see all these people out there, and up to my left, I could see this big old panel truck, and it said rescue mission. And I told myself, it's gonna work. It's really gonna work. And so, when we were on stage playing, I looked to my left, and there it was. I saw that panel. It wasn't a panel truck; it was a van.
Yeah.
But the guy had this little canopy with sitting there, and he was taking everybody was bringing them food and cans of food, and clothes, and it was just a great feeling that it came true.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're gonna start calling you Prophet Bobby. But
Yeah, yep, exactly. Yeah. Well, I did have a spirit come to me right before I got cancer, and he told me the spirit told me I was meditating. And I had my eyes closed, and I was meditating, and my wife was fast asleep in the bedroom. And I saw this light come on. I thought she got up to go use the bathroom or something. It was like around 11 o'clock at night. And I had my eyes closed, and I could see the light. You know how you can see the light even though you got your eyelids, some bright light. And I saw this bright light, and I opened my eyes, and I turned my right, and I saw the spirit. And the spirit was so bright. The light was so bright. And I got scared, and all I heard was 3 words: not to worry. That's what the 3 words heard. And so shortly after that, a month, 2 months later, that's when I got the cancer, and I got cured. It's been 5 years now, but it's been 5 years since I had it, and so I believe that the Lord showed me the way, and so every time. I like to say with the song, I told my wife, I hope the song makes it. She goes, remember what the Lord told you. It's not to worry.
Don't worry.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's the title of your next song?
You know what, Joyce? You're right. That's a great idea. I never thought of that. When we wrote Any Moment, Gary, he named the song, and so I wasn't sure what he was gonna call it because I figured it was his idea, so I'm gonna leave it all up to him. And he named it Any Moment, and to me, it does have a reflection to my life. Any moment, you don't know what your next turnaround is, and now here the song is doing great, and that I've been at it for 11 years doing smooth jazz, and I've never had this amount of success with Any Moment.
That is so cool. And speaking of that, I know that me and you had kind of chatted a little bit over before the show and stuff about the song, and I remember you were telling me about the writing team.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about that, sir?
Okay. Yeah, and the writing team is Gary Lekowicz and Mike Rogers. Now, Gary is he's pretty big in the music industry, and he does radio promotion, and he promotes to all the radio stations. He's very, I think he graduated from Berkeley School of Music, very prestigious school. Mike Rogers, he did a lot of stuff with big artists. Let me see. I think I wrote it down. He has engineered and co-produced music from big giants. I can't remember Mick Jagger, Fleetwood Mac, John Legend, Pink. He has worked with them, and I don't know what in what process that he did. But he's very famous, and it's Mike Rogers, Gary Lekowicz, Robert Lee Balderrama, me, and Frank Rodriguez. We were all part of the songwriting, but the team is basically Gary and Mike, and they have their own studio. I was gonna fly to New York. They want me to play on another song, and but I didn't get a chance to do that. But in a way, that's the writing team right there, and they're really good at it. What they do, it just it blows me away of the technology that's out there, and
Right.
I'm trying to learn it. But that's who the two artists are that have put that together.
Okay.
They had another song out in 2018 called what was the name of it? I can't get my mind over you or something like that. And they had this girl singing. It was an amazing song. And so they've had a couple of hits. I don't know how big they've had, with the song.
Yeah.
But the team is called Lasonic,
Right.
and that's the name of the team. And they want to feature me on another song, and I was kind of excited about that because, any kind of promotion I can get, I'll definitely take advantage of that.
Man, that's awesome.
Right.
That is
Exactly.
awesome.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, and before we go further, there's a lot of people in the chat room that are saying hello to you. I know
Yeah.
you can't see the chat room.
No.
But let's see. Definitely Keith Gilchrist. He said, "Tell Robert I said hello."
yeah.
Tell Keith,
Jasmine.
Keith, go ahead. Go ahead.
Let's see. Let's see who else. Colleen Keithley says hello. Henry Mixon says hello. That's the ones I can see right now because my computer's frozen. That's
Okay.
frozen.
Uh-oh.
But at least those for sure. Has said hello. But no, there were also.
Oh, Colleen.
Yeah, I already said Colleen. I just can't.
You did?
Yeah,
Okay.
that was the last one I saw.
My
Was
bad.
Colleen and Henry, and then
Okay.
that screen froze for me right now.
Okay.
But they're also, admiring the song that when Gary played Estrella. They were just loving. There was a lot of good compliments on that song. from
Even-
everybody.
Wow, thank you.
Andre.
I like to thank you all too. Oh, I can see it now.
Oh, you can? Okay, cool.
Yeah, I just got on it. Yeah. And I'd like to thank all of them for all their great comments, and I really appreciate it.
Okay.
Let's see here.
Well, let's go ahead and introduce the song to everybody
Okay.
and let them check it out, and then we'll come
Yes.
back and continue our conversation with our guest,
Okay.
Mr. Robert Lee. So we'll be right back, everybody. Keep it locked, and we'll stay tuned.
Yes.
I know, right?
Peace.
Having some fun. We have some off-air conversation there, but
Yeah.
we are back, and you are hearing right behind us that we were actually playing on Beach Street as well, right after we played
I love that one.
Any Moment right before that, and man, yeah, beautiful
Great
track.
stuff.
Yeah, very good stuff, man. It's always.
Thank you all. Thank you, Gary.
Mhm.
Thank you.
You know, I'm just curious. We're hearing smooth jazz, but in the 60s, what genre were you playing back then?
We were playing rock and roll.
Hmm.
But you know, when George Benson came out in the 70s, I said, wow, isn't that amazing? A jazz guitars hitting the mainstream. You know, when he came out with Reason, you know, and
Yes.
Affirmation and all those. You know,
Yeah.
Reason really did really good on the radio. I would hear it on there.
Yeah.
And that really created my interest. So what I wanted to do was, because I love jazz, you know, and I had been practicing it, but you know, and then when George Benson came out, it was more a smoother kind of style, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and I fell in love with that style, you know, and so I practiced all the time, and I used to travel with Question Mark Mysterian when we traveled all over the United States. I would tune in to the smooth jazz station. There was a bunch of them. They were all over,
Back in the
and
day,
yeah, they were big time, like regular radio.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would listen to it, you know, and I would think, God, one of these days I would love to be on these radio stations. And then all of a sudden in 2000, it seemed like they started to dwindle, and before you know it, there wasn't a whole lot of them. They're still out there, but it seems like they're more, it's more internet, and I'm glad the internet came in so that they could promote smooth jazz.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was amazed when I was in Colorado Springs. I don't know if you know Tony Exum Jr. There is a terrestrial station in Colorado Springs, and he DJs that, and they play smooth jazz.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so impressive that I can turn on, and I was in Colorado. I said, man, do I miss this, being able to just have it 24/7.
Oh, yeah. I would
Why
listen
do you
to it.
think, why do you think we lost smooth jazz stations like that?
I think commercially wise, rap music came in. I noticed a lot of these smooth jazz stations, they went into rap or kind of not just totally rap, but into that style.
Right.
I like rap because you got to be talented to rap. There's no doubt about it. I couldn't do it, but I think it was the commercial side of it that took over. And they made more money with that style of music. And
yeah, money's
and
always
so-
the corporate, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, it is. But I hope someday they all come back again. There's a bunch of them still out there though, and I'm glad to hear that because Gary Lekowicz tells me, oh, we're on here, and oh yeah, we just got on what is it, watercolors.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah, with Sirius Satellite Radio.
That's a great place to be.
Thank you, Joyce.
He sure
Yeah,
is.
that's what Gary said. He goes, Bobby, this is huge.
Yeah,
This is huge
You get on
to get on
watercolors now.
watercolors.
Yeah. Congratulations.
yeah.
Thank
It's
you.
still a prayer for me, but hey, keep hope alive.
That's what works, Joyce. I pray every day, and I thank the Lord for the success of the song, and
Yes.
I post a lot on Facebook, and people would say, Robert, this song's going to be number one, and my wife had a vision that it is going to be number one. So I tell her, top 10, I'd be happy, but number one, I'd be
Through the sky.
you're right. I'll be up there. I'd be
Past
crying.
the moon.
Yeah, I'd be crying. 96
6 tears.
happy tears. 96 happy tears.
As you're flying past the moon.
Yeah.
I said earlier, you said something that happened in '69. Forget what it was about, and I just smiled on the inside because you switch it around and it's '96. So.
Oh, I got to tell you that story.
Okay.
What-
I know
Yeah,
deep about
when we
that.
wrote this, when we were putting the song together, I was just learning how to play guitar to do the bar chord. They call it the power chord. And I used to practice all the time, going back and forth. And I was going back and forth from G to C, and the keyboard player started playing ding 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 ding, and the drummer started playing to it, and the bass player started playing. And before you know it, Question Mark was just singing to it, kind of ad-libbing. And all I could hear him say, you're gonna cry too many tears. And when we were done with the song, he would take one of these little small recorders, like a Mission Impossible, the ones that blow up after he gets them.
Remember those?
Yeah, and Question Mark would take one of those to practice, and so he could hear what we sound like,
Yeah.
And he was playing it back, and I go, wow, this got a nice beat, Q. And then the drummer, Eddie Serrato, said, so what are you going to call the song, Question Mark? He goes, I'm going to call it Too Many Teardrops. And he goes, why don't you give it a number? And I'm thinking, wow, what do you mean the number? He goes, like 69 tears. And I was only 15 at the time when we wrote it.
Right.
And I'm thinking, I kind of know what that song means, but I was, when you're so young, you want to act like you know a lot of stuff, but you really don't.
Right?
So I told him, I said, 69 tears. I said, that's catchy, but isn't there something weird about 69? Doesn't there something? and I said, that kind of.
You'd have to
it's
say
not.
1969. You can't.
Yeah.
Just...
Yeah. And so he goes, why don't we? He goes, we can turn the numbers around. 96. I go, wow, 96 tears. I said, that's catchy. That is a catchy title. And we asked question mark, and he goes, yeah, let's call it 96 tears. You know, and that's how the name came about.
Sweet.
It's weird how you brought that up, Joyce.
Well, you
I,
have to
I was kind of, huh?
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I was kind of nervous about talking about it like that, even now.
It's just simply the truth.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And the truth,
like you said, you were a little naive back then anyway. So it's
yeah, I was.
at 15
Yeah.
and 16, you're not thinking about all that. And even if
No.
you would admit, you still don't care.
Yeah. But you know, the song worked, you know, and I tell that story, you know, to certain people. I don't, you know, I watch how I.
It's all good.
Yeah.
I don't want to get rated X.
Everybody knows what that means anyway. So.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
Right.
No,
that's funny.
but I say the only thing that was spotless on this earth was the lamb. So you know what I mean
Yeah.
by that.
Yeah,
Rest
yeah,
of us-
you're right.
Mhm.
You're right.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
But how awesome. Okay, so what we heard was on Beach Street. I wasn't listening to that one. I love that title. Why on
Oh.
Beach Street?
Well, I remember going to New Orleans, you know, and it was called, was it Beale Street or something like that?
Mhm.
There's a street there's a real famous street, you know, besides that where the French Quarter, you know, and I saw that, but you know, and I was trying to think of a title for the song, and Frank came out with a great drum rim, you know, when you listen to that song, how it starts with the drums, you know, and it was actually a drum machine that did it. And because I don't think it's possible for any drummer to play that drum style when you hear it, because it's like playing it. It's so weird. And so I was trying to think of a name, and when we were playing, I remember walking to the House of Blues, and I saw Beale Street, and I said, Beale Street. That's a great name for the song. So that's how I came up with it.
Mm-hmm.
All right then.
Very good.
I like.
And oh, thank you very much.
Mm-hmm. Because do you think the title of the song should give you an idea of what the song is going to sound like?
I do, you know, and when you listen to those drums, you know, we don't play that song. We learn it, but our drummer, he can't play that beat, you know, because it's a hard beat to play, and so we kind of stay away from that song as much as possible. I love that song, but we do play Estrella. We play Jazz Dude. Jazz Dude, we did a animation for that one, and that was the first time doing it was a 5-minute animation for that song. And I was working, I was a janitor at night school, at a school at night, I mean, and then all of a sudden the school got changed over, and me and my son were working there. And it was a great job because when you're a night janitor, you don't have nobody there, you know, just you don't even deal with your boss, you know, he's not there. You just got to get the job done. So when we got let go, we had all this time in the world, and I told my son, you know, we should, you know, I got that animation show, we should do an animation for the video. So we worked on it, and it took us almost 4 months to do a 5-minute animation. But it was a great learning process, and we learned so much about animation, and so I really got into animation. I love it. You know, it's just I used to watch cartoons when I was a kid, so I never got away from that.
Yeah.
And so it was in the 90s. I wrote a script, and it was called Crazy World, and it was about question mark Mysterians, and question mark. You know, he tells people, you know, we were playing, and we were doing a show in Dallas, and I remember he got asked to do an interview at the oldies station, and he said, you know, I don't know what to tell them about me because I'm question mark. I told him, I said, tell him you're from Mars, you know.
No, if his name is question mark, tell him to guess.
Yeah, you're right. So, but he you know, so we were, and I said, you know, because we got the name The Mysterians. It was a Japanese movie in the 60s. We used to watch Godzilla on Saturday afternoons, you know, in a Sci-Fi channel. And we were watching it, you know, and my nephew, Larry, he said, we were watching a show called The Mysterians. There was these guys from Mars. They were invading, and they were stealing all the women from Earth. And anyway, we watched the show, you know, and my nephew said, "That's a great name, The Mysterians." You know, and I said, you know, I got to think about it. You know, and I did. I kept saying, I go, wow, it is a great name. So we used it. So when Question Mark went on the radio interview, we tuned in. We were back at Frankie lived in Dallas at the time. We were listening on the radio. And the guy interviewed him. He goes, "So, where's the band from? I heard you guys are all Latino or Mexican, right?" And he goes, "Well, I don't talk about myself, but yeah, the guys are, you know." And he goes, "Where are you guys from?" He said, "Well, the guys are from Bay City and Saginaw, Michigan." and he goes, "Where are you from?" And he goes, "I'm from Mars." and we were rolling on the floor. I'm serious. And then the guy says, "What? Well, you from where?" He goes, "I'm from Mars." He goes, "Is that in Michigan?" Yeah. And he goes, "Is that in Michigan?" He goes, "No, you know the planet Mars." And he goes, "Oh," and I heard the guy's voice say, "Oh, okay."
Whatever.
Yeah. So what happened was that got around, you know, and people would ask, "Where the heck he get that name from? What do you say he come from Mars?" And I go, "Oh shoot, it was me." and I remember we were in New York playing, and he was on the Comedy Channel with Greg Kilborn. I can't remember the name of the show. It was Greg Kilborn Jon Stewart he took over after that. And we were on and they interviewed. They came to Question Mark's. He had a motorhome, and they came to the inside of the motorhome, and they were interviewing him, and they asked him, "You tell everybody you're from Mars, you know?" And then I'm watching the show, and they show a picture of the Mars, you know, like it's turning, revolving, you know. And he goes, "What part of Mars you from?" Oh, you know. And Greg is trying to make it a comedy out of it. You know, and somebody told me that, you know, they saw that, and I saw it too. They said, "Who the heck told him to use that he was from Mars?" What an idiot! That was me. So I wrote a script that it was a sci-fi script, and Question Mark he goes on the radio and he tells people he's from Mars, right? And so. On the script, he gets kidnapped. He gets abducted by the Martians.
Nice. By his own people.
All right, Chris.
I didn't know that, but I got contacted by a promoter in Detroit, and he wanted the Question Mark Machine to do a big concert. I said, "Well, we've been on a hiatus for a while, but I'll see if I can get the band together." So I went there to everybody and contacted them. We stayed in contact, but I tried to get him on Question Mark, and his manager said, "You know, we can't find him, you know." And then he found out that he got abducted by the Martians when he was doing an interview coming out of the radio station, and they took him. So we had to, and so we caught up with the alien that took him, and the manager was going to beat the crap out of him, you know, in the script. So he promised he would take us to Mars so we can get Question Mark. So we ended up going to Mars, and he took us in his spaceship.
I love it.
So he took us to Mars, and then we went. And then when we got to Mars, you know, we actually made a movie out of it, but I just did it with camcorder, so it's real cheap. But we landed on Mars, and then he took us underground, and we went down there, and we had to go in front of the Mars Council, and we had to get Question Mark to make a promise that he would quit talking about that he was on Mars. And there was life on Mars, right? And so,
I love
it. So he told him that he wouldn't say it no more. You know, he wouldn't do it radio interviews or talk about it. And so he was allowed to come back to Earth, and we had a show to do. and I had booked a gig, not knowing that Question Mark had been abducted to the promoter, and he started promoting the gig, in Detroit, a big concert. So we got there just in time to do the concert, and we landed right behind the venue, and we jumped, and we went inside to the back door. And we jumped on stage and we started playing 96 Tears, and that's how the show ended.
That's
But
cool.
You know,
By any chance, did you run into Marvin the Martian?
but I feel sorry for the person who just tuned in.
He probably think I lost it. he probably thinks
big
up on Mars.
If he had asked me what part of Mars you were from, I was going to say East Side.
I would have said the South Side.
And walk it out. I'm from the side.
I'm from the ghetto part of Mars.
I love how you guys had fun with that
Oh,
concept.
it's hilarious. It's almost like watching, Rocky
Horror
Horror
Picture Show.
you know.
Oh.
Yeah. How cheap the looks. It looks like that.
Right.
And I use a lot of. I learned about effects. You can use a green screen and all that, and it shows us flying. And the spaceship is one of them Chrysler Magnums. Chrysler Magnum is flying, around Mars and getting ready to land.
Nice. I love
Yeah.
those.
And people ask
Do you
you,
have? Is this on YouTube somewhere? This
No, Question Mark wouldn't let me put it on there. After he saw
Why not?
I don't know. He said, we need to get some big film producer that can make it real, really good. Saying a real quality. So I was thinking about, I said, once they come out with 3D animation, I would like to make an animation of it, 3D.
I think that'd be
You know,
cool.
That's what I
Yeah.
assumed you had done.
That's what I want.
We didn't know any better. You were so convincing, though. I was like, yeah, he called us the bookings for a show, and we didn't know he got abducted by, aliens from Mars. like so matter of fact about it. So, but I can see that as a comical sci-fi, even a serious.
Yeah.
one. I see it more comical.
Yeah, comical sci-fi animation. That would be great.
Yeah, I think it would be great.
Kind of like a la Bugs Bunny era.
Yeah.
Like I said, with Marvin the Martian.
Yeah, Marvin the Martian.
Yeah.
Have him on there. I don't know if he gets sued by Disney or
Warner
whoever
Brothers,
did it.
Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers, yeah. But I think it's a great sci-fi comedy. It's got a lot of comedy to it. I mean, when Question Mark's being interviewed by the guy at the radio station, I made it more comedier than when he did it in Dallas when he talked about being from Mars,
Yeah.
And Question Mark talked about Mars, he talked about the aliens there, and he went on, and you can hear me laugh. I'm filming it. We did it in Detroit. This radio personality, he agreed to do it, so I went and filmed it. And you could hear me laughing in the back. I couldn't take it out because it was in the audio,
Right.
Well, sometimes, there are all kinds of movies, and I have watched what do they call them, B movies or whatever?
Yeah.
B movies.
Yep.
That you could tell they didn't have the budget, but it was still good. You
Yeah.
still have fun watching it, and because you remember the movie, they said it was a movie. They were supposedly, it was a long time ago, some college kids got stuck in the woods and they had video of them running
Yeah.
from
The Blair
remember?
Witch Project.
Blair Witch Project. Yes.
That is not a professional shoot, but it became very, very popular.
Yeah.
And later they said that was all a setup or, fabricated, basically.
Right.
But I couldn't watch it because I'm not good at horror stuff. But,
I ain't either. I don't watch horror movies. I can remember watching. I was a teenage werewolf. That was Michael Landon.
that was
only.
soft.
Yeah, that was soft. And me and my niece watched it, and we couldn't watch it anymore. We left the theater and walked home. I I said, this is just the tension, I can remember him. He was, I don't know, he was at a barber shop or something, and all of a sudden the hair started growing in his face.
Yeah.
I go, oh no! I said, I gotta go get some popcorn.
I made a mistake and watched Halloween,
Oh,
the
I've
first
never watched
one,
those.
and that was the last one. I think they're on number 50 now. I think, and I made a mistake and watched Exorcism. Oh, Exorcist, The Exorcist.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I didn't watch that one either. Mm.
Yeah, that was pretty creepy when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
Watching it.
That's hard.
Yeah.
We shouldn't have been watching that. We were kids.
But we wanted to get scared out of our daylights, but once I did, I couldn't do it no more. It just beyond.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And the only ones that I've watched, but I didn't watch it at the theater. I watched it here at home online and stuff. Was all the Freddy Krueger movies.
Oh no!
See, those I watched, but then it's like I said, since I was here, I was at home. It didn't faze me. I just okay, that's okay, that was gross. But I was like, all right. But had I been in the theater, I would have been in the bathroom spewing. Not so much scared. I would have been puking my brains out.
Hey.
No, Joyce, not that. Yeah, Henry.
Yeah.
Like Gary said, we were young. We shouldn't have been watching that because it's
No.
this day. I still didn't learn because I watched Poltergeist.
Well, see, I watched
yeah.
those too. That one I didn't mind. I didn't mind
but
Poltergeist.
when everybody in the movie died, I'm like, something wrong with that. Spirits got conjuring up. But everybody died. The little girl died. Both of the daughters died.
Both of the daughters
The
died.
guy who was a Native American, he died. The short leg died, and another somebody behind the set died. I said, okay, I need to. But everybody conjuring up there, y'all need to leave that alone.
Yeah. I don't watch horror movies no more. I think ever since that spirit came to me, I try to stay on the positive side, and I try to do things that Lord would look down at me and say, I listened to this one guy, he talked about an NDE he had an NDE, and he said that when he went there, he saw Jesus, and Jesus had his book, and he said the book was real thin, and he said the book was about me, and he said, I realized what Jesus was showing me. He was showing me that what have you done in earth for the people, and so, I mean, he had tears in his eyes when he was talking about it. And I'm thinking, I didn't even know nothing about that. I said, I'm so glad I'm doing the homeless concert because I want, when Jesus holds a book up, I want it to be nice and thick.
That's right.
I want
Yeah.
But so but my dream of the homeless people was to help them, and it wasn't about me, and I figured if I could use any kind of promotion about the Mysterians, Question Mark Mysterians, or smooth jazz, I will always do that, because to me, that's my goal.
Yeah.
It's one of my high priorities.
Yeah.
That's a great thing.
And if I ever do that animation, about Crazy World, I would donate half the money to the homeless, to rescue them.
See?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That would be great.
There's your
Yeah.
incentive.
Oh. All right. Well, we're getting kind of close to the end, so
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
I would
Yeah.
like for you, Robert, please tell everybody how they can, if people want to purchase the music,
Yeah.
how they, and then plus just how they can follow you and keep up with all the great things you're going to be doing.
Okay. Yeah, they can go on most of the streaming companies. Gary has it listed. There's a poster on my Facebook page, and then you click on it and it lists all of them, like Pandora, Spotify, Amazon, and you can get on. You can click on it and you can download it for 99 cents. And to me, it's not. Or you can just stream it. And to me, any kind of promotion is great. And I would like to thank all the viewers out there that download it or just stream it. Thank you so much for doing that, because it's really helping the song move along. And right now on the video, there's a video on YouTube, the Any Moment video, and it just reached 50,000 views.
Nice.
Wow.
And that's only in 2 months.
See, that's
2
great.
months. So,
Whoa.
yeah. So my
Yeah.
wife, my wife says it's going to be 100,000 by the end of the year. That would be amazing.
Make that, Mrs. Lee. It's gonna
Claim it.
right.
Oh
Amen.
yeah. I mean, question mark Mysterians. We've got views up in the millions, but that's different. That's from the past. And I will always represent myself as one of the original Mysterians, question mark Mysterians.
Of course.
And to me that's an honor to have been in that band and to play music all my life
Yeah.
and travel.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we sure enjoyed having you on the show again, and to catch up with all the great things, and like I said, wish nothing but the best for you in the future. So just keep it up, man.
And I thank you, Gary. Thank you so much. Thank you all so much, for having me on. And I was really looking forward then when we got on. I mean, I was having a heck of a time trying to get on. And I was starting to have a panic attack. Like, oh shoot, they're gonna cancel me out.
Yeah.
They're gonna call me no show Robert Lee, no show.
No, we weren't gonna let that happen. We had plenty of time.
Thank you, Gary.
No, that happens. Of course, it's funny because we have other guests that come on the show, and they probably hadn't been on for a while as well. And it's funny because the Skype, it's changed. Since the last time we used Skype with some of the guests, that was before Microsoft took it over and did their whole new revamp on it. But then a lot of people now, especially nowadays, especially within the last couple of years, are been really drawn to Zoom, which has been a real popular format. That we just never had left Skype. We still use Skype here, so. But yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say I did Zoom about 3 or 4 weeks ago. There was a guy from the UK. Gary had told me that. Gary Lekowitz told me that he wanted to do an interview with me.
Yeah.
And talk. Gary said, don't forget to talk about the song though. Promote. I said, all right. So I'm talking to the guy on Zoom, and it was pretty easy. I didn't have to account. He sent me a request, and boom, I was on. But he started talking about. He goes, "You're not only in the music industry, you were in the film industry too, were you?" And I'm thinking, he knows about the movie. I said, wait a minute. I said, well, I was on American Bandstand, and all these TV shows back in the '60s. He goes, yeah, but you were really big time in the movie industry. And I'm thinking, I said, what do you mean? He goes, well, Bruce, isn't he a relation to you, Bruce? I'm thinking, Bruce. you got it, right?
It took me 2 seconds. I'm sorry.
He said, the guy's English, right? And he thought that I was Bruce's cousin, or I don't know.
Yes, I was in the background of Enter the Dragon. Yeah.
Yeah. But at least he didn't ask if you were a descendant of Robert E. Lee, so.
Yeah. No, I don't think I want to be his descendant. But that was his real last name. But I think it was Robert Edward Lee or something like that, with an E. And I knew that would come up sometimes, and that. I mean, I don't have nothing against Robert Lee. He had a belief, but I didn't believe the things he did, and being a minority, it's hard, going through life, especially back in the '60s, when I went to school, being of Mexican descent, it wasn't easy. Yeah. And riding on a bus, you always had to stand up to people, and I learned to stand up for myself, and people would leave me alone. And I acted like I was crazy. They go, don't mess with Robert. He'll look at you sideways, man.
It's survival. It was just survival. Yeah. I remember those days. I was little. I told somebody I was too young to be standing up to grown racist people, but I did it.
Yeah. I did too.
What was I doing?
Yeah.
But
I did the same. Yeah.
So I understand it perfectly. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it's me, right, Gary? My turn.
Yep. You go ahead.
So okay. It was weird because Mac's not here. He's usually next. But what an honor to have such talent on the show today. I really enjoyed their interview. I enjoyed hearing about your life. It's amazing how much we can find out about somebody in such a short time, and your heart for the homeless. Because sometimes some of us feel helpless. Like, what can we do? And I think it's very encouraging that you found something you can do. You have a talent you can give back and help generate some income. So I appreciate that and ask God to bless you with many more like that. And to just to encourage people to go to Spotify and music to find you, Robert, and follow you and add your music to your playlists and support him, to all our guests. And of course, if you enjoy what you hear today, don't forget to click, what is it, Gris? The thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
And subscribe if you haven't already. So, and I just Gris, great job, girlfriend, getting some awesome guests on the show. You've been killing it in that area. That's been, I need to give you a shout out on that. I'm always giving a shout out to Gary, which he deserves it.
Yes, we was like, yeah, we need to get that. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. And I was thinking about it too. I was gonna reach out to this person, so we kind of like on the same wavelength there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but good job in keeping that going. So, like I tell you guys, I love what you're doing, and I'm going to Spotify and find you because I'm on Spotify a lot.
Okay.
Add you to my playlist, and I hope to see you again. I know you're gonna have some more music, and so thank you
so much, Joyce. And thank you for your great compliments.
Gris.
Okay.
Miss.
Well, Robert, thank you. And I'm so glad that we finally were able to connect with you and get you on the show. Oh, goodness. We're just like, okay, he's got to come on. Because it has been a very long time since we last saw you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's like, yeah, we need to get Robert get back on. And so, thank you again, and wishing you all the best and all the best of luck with Lasonic and that with the Any Moment, and then with your upcoming projects as well. And I hope you do that animation of the crazy world. I hope you do. I've got to see that one.
Thank you, Griselda. Thank you so much. You've all been so kind to me, and to me, it's awesome to be on your show.
Oh,
thank you.
You're easy to interview, by the way. You're very easy to interview.
Thank you.
What a pleasure.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
God bless y'all.
Oh, thank you.
Bless you
God
too.
bless you.
Thank you, Gary.
And also,
Sorry, Chris.
join us next week. Our guest will be Matt Lee, a saxophone player. He's going to be on the show, and I can't wait because he's got some awesome music.
Matt.
Yeah, so Matt will be with us next week, so please join us. Invite a friend or two or five or more. Also, want to thank everyone that tuned in on anonymously. Chat room gang, my gang in the chat room. Thank you so much. Everybody have a happy Thanksgiving.
Yes, please.
Because it'll be Thanksgiving, before the next show.
Yeah, before
so
we come
happy
back.
Thanksgiving, and enjoy it with all your loved ones, I hope. And stay blessed, stay safe, and we'll see you next week.
Okay.
Ciao.
All right, everybody. We'll see you then.
Happy Thanksgiving.
All right.
Thanksgiving. Ciao.
life when I thought it was over. You never turned your back on me. I was the one, and I'm so sorry, Father. Thank you, Lord, for all I really need. Lord, it's been so long since I've been happy. I drown myself at times with my own tears. He said, don't be sorry, just learn to trust me. Through all things good and bad, I'm all you need. Testify for me, LJ. Blessings overflow, and I want to thank you, Jesus. You're everything to me. You're all I need. You're everything to me. You're all I need. You're everything to me. You're all I need. Lord, 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 you're all I need. You're everything to me. You're all I need. You're everything to me. You're all I need. You're every little thing to me. Thank you, Father.
You bring me so much joy.